In the headlines, People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees set up committee to visit Wike in reconciliatory move. Daughter narrates how deceased mother confronted armed bandits to avert abduction of son. 614 intending pilgrims from Kaduna yet to be airlifted as the July 5th deadline issued by the Saudi Arabian government draws closer. And on the foreign scene, West African leaders lift economic sanctions on Mali. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. And now the news in detail. Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party has set up a reconciliatory committee to meet with Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State over the fallout of the party's presidential primary in crisis, trailing the nomination of a running mate. Chairman of the party's Abat Walid Jibril, who made the announcement in a statement on Sunday, said the visit to Governor Wike will take place immediately after Atiku and PDP National Chairman Iyorchia Ayu returned to the country from their vacation abroad. Jibril described Governor Wike as a very responsible and obedient PDP member who assisted tremendously in building the party to its present status. He appealed to party members in Rivers not to leave the party and shunned comments aimed at reducing the running down of the party. The committee is to be headed by the party's presidential candidate and former vice president Atiku Abubakar and has 13 PDP governors as members. Presidential candidate of New Nigerian People's Party, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, says he's disappointed with the handling of security challenges in the country by the military. Kwankwaso speaks with newsmen in Gombe, where he also raised concern over the deplorable condition of education in the country. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Kwankwaso visits Gombe State to open an NNPP office ahead of the 2023 general elections. Speaking in an interview, the two-term governor of Kano State said the country's educational sector is destroyed.
Nobody is happy except very few people. Less than 1% of the people of this country are the ones that are happy. Even then, they must feel guilty if they have any concerns. They have to feel that something is wrong, and everybody knows something is wrong, ranging from the economy to the issue of security. And putting these two together have destroyed everything, especially the issue of education. Nobody is talking about education. And Kwankwaso believe very much on education. If you ask me what is my priority, the priority of Kwankwaso, I will tell you it's education, education, and education. And that's what we proved in Kano. And that's what we will do if we have an opportunity. Measures to ensure security of lives and properties. You see, as former Minister of Defense, I've been terribly disappointed by what we are having today. Our military, where, and I believe they are still the best in Africa.
The governorship candidate of the NNPP in Gombe State, Hamisu Mailantarki, said his party is ready to address the country's problems.
Of Gombe, they all know, they are watching what is happening in Nigeria. You look at the history of the presidential candidate of our party, that is our party leader, Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. When he was a governor in Kano, his policies are, things that every Nigerian, not only Kano one, every Nigerian is proud of. He ran the government for 2 consecutive terms without borrowing money from any bank or any institution. And he was able to be the, part of the few people that perform very, very well. Look at the infrastructure, look at the bridges, look at every aspect of the life that he touched in Kano State, especially the youth, the scholarship education. He gave hope to hopeless.
This is the first time the NNPP presidential candidate Rabiu Kwankwaso is visiting Gombe since he clinched the party's presidential ticket. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
The All Progressives Congress faithfuls in Rivers State have welcomed the party's former presidential aspirant and immediate past Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, back to the state. The former minister, who was on his first visit to the state after losing the APC presidential ticket to Bola Tinubu about 4 weeks ago, said he is making efforts to reconcile all aggrieved members of the party in the state. Amechi urged APC members to go to their various wards and mobilize ahead of the 2023 governorship elections in the state.
Amechi urged APC members to go to their various wards and mobilize ahead of the 2023 governorship election in the state.
All those who are afraid of election and they want to go to court to remove people's names, but why are they afraid of election? I thought they are popular. Yeah. We will test ourselves in the election. It will be total arrogance to just sit at home and think you will win. Trust the courts. Trust the courts. Justice will be done. Don't be afraid. Go home and work. Our job is to do what? That's why I came. I came to thank you. I came to urge you to go home and work. Let all of us be unit leaders. No more local government leader, no ward leader. If you check INEC is no longer announcing what result. They are announcing what?
On the alleged 96 billion naira involving the fraudulent sale of assets of the state, Amechi stated that based on judgment of the Supreme Court, the state government needs to take the report of the panel that investigated the matter to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, for a fair hearing.
The thing that was done transparently. There was an agency called the Public Procurement Agency, and all those things passed through. I hope that the governor has good lawyers. The Supreme Court said in their judgment, when they said he has powers to set up a panel, and that the job of the panel is to gather information. That after they have finished gathering information, that they will pass the information to either ICPC, police, or EFCC. The police has not invited me. ICPC has not invited me. EFCC has not invited me.
We have won. Why have we won? Number one, at the grassroots, we are number one. Number two, on every ballot, we are number one. Number three, we serve a God that is number one. APC, take position.
For your reassurance, here is the man who laid the foundation for whoever is who in the current political dispensation in Rivers State. Whether you are for APC or PDP, he laid the foundation. I am a witness.
The former presidential aspirant said he is not aware of any alleged move by the APC presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to reconcile him and a chieftain of the party in the state, Senator Magnus Abe.
Youths have been told to troop out and ensure they are registered at the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise, as it is the only tool to secure a prosperous Nigeria. Speaking at an event in Ilorin, an All Progressives Congress candidate for Ilorin West Asha Federal Constituency, Muqtad Shagaya, says it is high time the youths take part in the selection of leaders of the country and avoid sit-at-home syndrome.
Into that process, we've been given an extended opportunity for all of us to go and have the opportunity to express our democratic right? And I think it is of utmost importance, right, that those that are of age should get to the INEC centers, to get to the PVC enrollment centers, and make sure they're accredited. I'm not saying you have to vote for me, right? What I'm saying is you have to exercise your democratic right? The only way we can change as a society is when young people start to key into the politics and the day-to-day and have awareness of what is going on, right? So the more and more young people can key into these things, the more and more we would all get engaged and all start to see a difference in the Ilorin West and Asha Federal constituency.
Daughter of the woman killed by bandits in Bauchi State has given a touching account of how the gunmen brutally killed her while attempting to avert abduction of her son. Halima Muhammad, who described her 52-year-old mother, Maryam Muhammad, as a heroine, told Trust TV that the bandits struck their community, Sabon Gari Jada, in Al-Kaleri local government area, shooting sporadically.
She said the gunmen numbering 11 entered their house trying to kill her brother by shooting at him, and they didn't succeed, but decided to take him away. The victim resisted. Halima said her mother took a pestle from the kitchen and fearlessly confronted the armed bandits to let go of her son. The bandits attacked our house on Monday at around 12 a.m. So my mother heard the bandits planning on how they would kill her son. Upon hearing this, she ran out with a pestle to help my brother. After some struggling with the bandits, they shot her dead. The bandits were 11 in number. Eventually, Halima's mother succeeded in breaking the arm of one of the bandits, who shot her before fleeing the scene. Council chairman of Al-Kaleri local government area, Yusuf Garba, said the bandits infiltrated the state through neighboring communities in Plateau and Taraba states. He said they attacked and killed 4 persons in some communities in Bauchi. The state governor, during a sympathy visit, charged citizens to join hands with security agencies and the government to prevent bandits from operating in any part of the state. According to the people of the area, the bandits came with heavy weapons. They appeal to the state government to provide security outposts in the area to prevent the occurrence of the attack.
Former Nigerian High Commissioner to South Africa, Ambassador Shehu Malami, says the contemporary situation in Nigeria is worrisome and everyone is to blame for it. The ex-diplomat, who holds the title of Sarkin Sudan of Wurno, while appearing on Trust TV's program Reminiscences, speaks on previous contest for Sultan of Sokoto.
Never ever. Never at any minute or else, I never prayed to Allah to make me Sultan.
Why?
I always believe that I always prayed to Allah to give what was the best thing for me. And He has. I'm completely satisfied with what Allah has done for me. I'm not complaining to anybody. But I never begged Allah to make me Sultan at any material. You may be the Sultan, but you may not have the opportunity to make it known and accepted and, everlasting. The appointment is nothing. It depends on who is there, who makes it important, not the title itself.
What do you make of what is happening in Nigeria now?
Terrible disaster. You don't even know. If you want to repair something, well, it's like a broken car. If something is wrong with it, you can go for the engine or for the tires, find out what is wrong with it. But in Nigeria, how do you identify what is wrong now? How can you repair the damage? That is the basic question now. Where we are, how did we come about it? How do we go back, if possible, to go back to those times that we can say things are manageable? Who do you blame?
You don't think anybody is to blame?
All of us are to blame. All of us are to blame. Because these things were going slowly by slowly. We just ignored them. They've gone out of hand.
About 614 intending pilgrims from Kaduna State have not been airlifted, even as the July 5th deadline issued by the Saudi Arabian government draws closer. Public Relations Officer of the Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Salisu Anchau, confirmed that there were visa challenges for some of the pilgrims, but said National Hajj Commission, which had earlier closed the visa portal, had assured the agency that it would reopen it. So far, 1,986 intending pilgrims have departed the state for the Holy Land, with the 5th flight leaving the Kaduna International Airport Saturday night. The portal had yet to be opened at the time of filing this report. Coming up after the break. Migrant women farmers in Niger State. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust News Update. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. We told you that People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees set up committee to visit Wike in reconciliatory move. You also heard that daughter narrates how deceased mother confronted armed bandits to avert abduction of son. In other news, all parks operating within the Abuja city center have been directed to close by 7 p.m. every day. The directive, according to the FCT administration, will take effect from Monday. Senior Special Assistant on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement to FCT Minister Ikaro Atta said all parks operators must comply with the new policy. He told journalists at the weekend that the enforcement would bring about conformity to the policy, which is concerned with sanity. Atta said parks that refuse to close from the stipulated time would be sanctioned. Coordinator of Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, Umar Shaibu, had recently announced a decision ordering park operators to open by 8 a.m. and close by 7 p.m. According to him, the exercise will enable the administration to have data of parks and checkmate their activities. The notion that only men work as laborers in farms have been punctured by an encounter with a group of women from Kebbi State who have worked as laborers in Niger State over the years. Our correspondent Abubakar Akoti, who encountered this group of 8 women, completes the report.
It is said that what men can do, women may do even better. This group of married women work as hired laborers on farms belonging to men, including that of the former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar. They travel from Kebbi State alongside their husband to settle in Sabon Daga village, about 40 kilometers outside Minna, the Niger State capital. Formed into a group of 8, the group leader, a 50-year-old Adiza Dambaba, said they travel kilometers to make ridges, wheat farms, and plant crops for a pay.
Farming has always been our pride. We are from Birnin Kebbi, and we are being called here to work on this farmland.
These women say they did not want to leave the family responsibilities on their husbands alone, hence the need to go out to look for money to support their families where necessary.
If I don't help my husband, who will I help? The reason why we are doing this is to help our husbands and children.
Abubakar Akote, Trust TV, Minna.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted 22 blocks of heroin weighing 23.55 kilograms concealed in packs of baby food at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. The consignment, with a street value of over 4.5 million naira, came from Johannesburg, South Africa, on board South African Airways flight on Wednesday, 29th June, as part of a consolidated cargo that arrived at the Sako import shed of the Lagos airport. The report.
After a series of follow-up operations that led to the arrest of 2 freight agents, the actual receiver of the drug consignment, GK Okeke, who distributes the substance for his South Africa-based partner, was arrested the following day, Thursday, 30th June, at a logistics warehouse in Ajawa Estate, Ikeja. GK claimed during preliminary interview that he is also into fish farming. Before the arrest of Chike, NDLEA officers at the airport on Monday, 27 June, arrested a former driver with the public transport company BRT, Muyiwa Babalola Bulujoko, for ingesting 90 pellets of cocaine. He was arrested at the screening point before boarding a Qatar Airways flight en route to Doha to Sharjah, with his trip expected to terminate in Dubai, UAE. The 39-year-old was placed under excretion observation after body scan results confirmed drug ingestion. While in custody, the suspect excreted all the 90 pellets in 4 excretions. He claimed he left his 60,000 naira per month job as BRT driver in February and decided to work as drug courier to raise funds to buy a shuttle bus popularly called Korokbe in Lagos to continue his transport business. Operatives also on Thursday, 30th June, intercepted an inbound consignment of cart leaves, which arrived at the narco import shed of the Lagos Airport Royal Air Maroc flight from the Middle East. A total of 71 cartons of dried cart leaves with a gross weight of 2,434.3 kilograms were discovered in the cargo. In the same vein, anti-narcotic officers of the agency also last Thursday seized 37 parcels of Colorado, a variant of cannabis with a total weight of 19.30 kilograms, which arrived the narco import shed from Los Angeles, USA on a Delta Airlines flight. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, in a statement from the Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, expressed satisfaction with the exemplary performance of the officers and men of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command in the past week and charged them to remain steps ahead of the tricks by the desperate drug cartels.
Which is tested positive cocaine. So I have.
Away from Nigeria, leaders of the Economic Community of West African States have lifted economic and financial sanctions imposed on Mali after its military rulers proposed a 24-month transition to democracy and published a new electoral law. ECOWAS Commission President Jean-Claude Cassibrou told a news conference on Sunday that the sanctions will be lifted immediately. Borders with Mali will reopen and regional diplomats will return to Bamako. Cassibrou stressed that the heads of states decided to maintain individual sanctions and the suspension of Mali from ECOWAS until return to constitutional rule. The individual sanctions targeted members of the ruling military government and the Transitional Council. The bloc imposed stiff sanctions on Mali in January after the military government said it would not organize democratic elections the following month as initially planned. Sanctions have crippled Mali's economy, raising humanitarian concerns amid widespread suffering. And finally, in sports, Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz has become the second Spanish race winner in Formula One history after capturing the British Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz won the race at the end of the 52 laps. Sergio Perez came second for Red Bull, while Lewis Hamilton continued his resurgence to claim third place for the consecutive time. The most consistent top 5 driver, George Russell of Mercedes, was out at the beginning of the race after a multi-car accident, an incident that saw Alfa Romeo's Guanyu and Alex Albon involved in what seemed a life-threatening accident. They were taken to the medical center but were later discharged. And with this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.